For a child, losing your parents is unimaginable. For these children, it was their only hope. The year is 1938. Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, has just swept across Germany and Austria. Synagogues burn, Jewish businesses are ransacked, and homes are destroyed. This wasn't just violence. It was a clear, terrifying declaration of intent. Before this, the persecution of Jewish people had been a slow, insidious tightening of the noose. Laws stripping away rights, boycotts, public humiliation. But Kristallnacht extinguished any lingering illusions. For Jewish families, especially parents, the question wasn't if they should flee, but how. Britain, largely due to the tireless efforts of individuals and a small number of organizations, responded. They conceived of an extraordinary scheme, the Kindertransport, a lifeline not for entire families, but for children. This wasn't an official government initiative, not at first. It began with the Council for German Jewry in London, pleading with the British Home Office. The government agreed to waive visa requirements for children under 17, provided private organizations guaranteed their care and eventual re-emigration. The urgency was paramount. After Kristallnacht, thousands of Jewish men were arrested and sent to concentration camps. Parents knew their children faced an increasingly bleak future, a fate they couldn't bear to imagine. A heart-wrenching choice lay before them: to send their child alone to a foreign land, knowing they might never see them again, or to keep them with the almost certainty of a far worse outcome. It's a decision few of us can truly comprehend. The first Kindertransport train departed Vienna on December 10, 1938, carrying 600 children. These were just the initial wave. Over the next 9 months, nearly 10,000 children would make this desperate journey, primarily from Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia, and Danzig. They were allowed to bring only one small suitcase containing minimal belongings: a favorite toy, a photograph, a change of clothes. Each item a tiny anchor to the life they were leaving behind, a life that would soon vanish. Imagine a child, perhaps 7 years old, standing on a bustling train platform. Their parents' tear-streaked faces are the last things they see, their final words a desperate plea to be strong, to remember them. Then, the whistle blows and the world irrevocably shifts. The journey itself was often fraught with tension. Crossing borders, the children were sometimes subjected to searches by Nazi guards, their small bundles scrutinized. The fear, though unspoken amongst the children, was palpable. Upon arrival in Britain, typically at Harwich or Liverpool Street Station, the children were met by volunteers. Many spoke no English, adding another layer of disorientation to their already overwhelming experience. They were taken to temporary holding camps or hostels, like the one at Dovercourt Bay. Here, efforts were made to register them, provide food and comfort, and begin the process of finding them homes. These were not luxury accommodations, but they were safe. For some, foster families eagerly awaited them. For others, the wait was longer, and they remained in hostels or large country estates requisitioned for their care. The children were dispersed across the country, their identities often shifting with their new surroundings. Adjusting to a new culture, a new language, and often a new religion was incredibly challenging. Many children experienced profound loneliness and a deep sense of loss. They were survivors, but their childhoods were irrevocably fractured. Some were fortunate, finding loving foster families who treated them as their own. Others faced indifference, or worse, exploitation, used for cheap labor. The experience varied wildly, a testament to the unpredictable nature of human kindness and cruelty. As the war intensified and Britain itself came under threat, the Kindertransport children endured further anxieties. Would their new homes be safe? And what of the parents they left behind, now trapped in a continent consumed by war? The war years were a period of waiting, of clinging to the hope of reunion. Letters, if they arrived, were often censored, sparse, and filled with unspoken fears. Many children never received another word from their parents after the initial farewell. When the war finally ended in 1945, the devastating truth began to emerge. For the vast majority of Kindertransport children, their parents, and often their entire extended families had perished in the Holocaust. The hope of reunion was cruelly extinguished. Many of these children, now young adults, were truly alone. They built new lives in Britain or emigrated to other countries like the United States, Canada, and Israel. They carried with them the indelible scars of their past, but also an extraordinary resilience. The Kindertransport saved nearly 10,000 lives. It was a monumental act of humanitarianism born from the desperate pleas of individuals and the compassionate, albeit limited, response of a nation. It wasn't perfect, but it was a bridge to survival. The legacy of the Kindertransport is not just the lives saved, but the profound human stories of sacrifice, separation, and survival. It reminds us of the fragility of peace and the immense courage found in the face of unimaginable terror. These children, now elders, are living testaments to the choices made by parents who loved them enough to let them go, and to the kindness of strangers who offered them a future. Explore the incredible courage of those who resisted the Nazi regime in our next deep dive.